Hi, welcome to Whitlox Homestead. Here's a short video on fire management in your Whitlox Wood-Fired Forge. One way to start a fire in your forge is to use the traditional kindling method that starts with fine fuels and adds progressively larger pieces. Here we start with a handful of cardboard and tinder, and the draft is set to 2. The paper starts readily, but you'll notice that it smokes. Go ahead and start the blast. The draft is started immediately, and in a few seconds the fire is hot enough to begin consuming the smoke. With a little care, the fire can be operated smokelessly from here on out. Is the smoke being consumed? The trick to a quick, hot, and smokeless startup is to not add too much fuel at any one time to your growing fire. Too much fine fuel, or pieces that are too large for the heat of the fire, will cause the forge to smoke. We're using the light-duty electric blower in this video. You'll notice that it's more than adequate for the task.
Oh, I guess I can see that you're doing that. Alright, go ahead.
There's a lot of popping and snapping and flying embers when you use resinous wood such as fir and hemlock, as we're using here. Hardwoods are not quite so noisy. One thing you'll notice is that there's little need to poke and prod the fire. The V shape of the forge naturally concentrates the fire and coals. You can tell a lot about the ratio of charcoal to raw wood in your fire by the amount and color of the flames. A tall yellow flame indicates that a lot of wood gases are burning. As the fire burns down to more charcoal than wood, the yellow flames will die back and more blue flames will be evident. The fire is hot and the draft is open to the full length of the fire, so I can start to add the largest fuel we'll be using. We're about 4.5 minutes from startup, and we have a good bed of coals, so it's time to put our stock in to heat. Things have settled down a little as the wood has burned down to charcoal. About 2 minutes have passed since we put our cold half-inch stock in the fire, so it's time to check the heat. The end is a little cold, so back in it goes for another 15 seconds or so. We added more heat than we needed for the end prep I'm doing here, so some time and fuel could have been saved if I'd used a little smaller fire, if that was all that was being done. In this case, I needed the length for some bending I was doing a little later. There are a lot of ways to get a quick, hot, and smokeless fire going in your Whitlox wood-fired forge. Just remember to not add too much fuel at any one time, and you'll have no trouble keeping smoke to a minimum.